What's going on, everybody? It has been a little bit since I have posted a video on this channel, and obviously, there's just a bunch of crazy things going on in the world. And I think I've posted since the whole Corona COVID situation has started, but I don't know. I didn't do the research to check. But here is kind of an update on where things are going at with my journey into D&D, my journey into tabletop gaming. I think one of the last videos that I posted was about kind of getting into the Warhammer side of things and Age of Sigmar. And I've been painting some of my Age of Sigmar minis, as you can see there. I've still got a ton more to paint. Obviously, I've been really bad actually recently about painting. But we've been playing some D&D recently, so that's kind of what today is, or this video is mostly about. Is our finally after a long break, we were able to start picking back up into the Abyss, our D&D campaign that we started just before the pandemic. And I'm one of those people when I play, I'm not a big role player. And I'm trying. But there's parts of my personality that make it very hard, which is also kind of strange because I am a professional wrestler, and you can argue that professional wrestling is role playing. I'm playing a character, and I'm going in front of an audience, and I'm working that crowd. I'm pretending to hate the person in front of me, and I'm pretending to beat the crap out of them, and all that stuff. And I'm just really playing the audience. I'm really working to the audience. The other part of it is the magician side of me, where you're a storyteller. You've got a deck of cards, and you're having someone pick a card, and you're losing it, and you're making the scenario impossible, and then still producing a miracle on either finding a selected card or producing 4 aces or whatever the case may be, or with coins or whatever. So you think that role playing with a game would be simple, and for me, it's one part of it's getting into my head, but I'm also a person that needs the story to progress, to keep it entertaining. And that part of me makes me feel like, is D&D really the game for me? And luckily, the game that I'm playing in right now is, we've got experienced D&D players, we've got some mid-level D&D players, and we've got like a brand new player. And the brand new player is like all in, like he's eating it up, he's doing a really good job at the role-playing side of things. But for me, spending too much time in any particular area or any part of the campaign makes it where I don't want to contribute in the role playing side of things. My character in this campaign is half elf, also a girl. So I'm playing a little half elf druid girl, who's roughly like 22 to 24, maybe 25. And then I have an accent on top of that. So I'm doing all that. But we spend so much time in one spot. And I've actually told the DM this too. It's like, we'll spend so much time in one spot that I don't want to say anything because I don't want us to stay there any longer. Like, I feel like we've spent too much time in this area. I want to progress and move on, so I don't speak. And it's also kind of a thing where I was raised very, I don't want to say like differently than anyone else, but I was raised very strictly with manners, where you don't interrupt people, you don't, talk over people, and so on. And that's something that's hard for me to get over, that barrier, is I wait for someone to finish their thought, to finish speaking, and then I talk. And in a D&D party, that's almost impossible for people just to not talk. Especially in our group where we have 6 players, I think it is. Yeah, we have 6 players. And then we have several NPCs that are with us on this journey so far that we've not gotten killed off yet. Uh, so there's a lot going on, but part of where we are now. So if you're not familiar with Out of the Abyss, I'm not going to really spoil a whole lot. Our game picked up where we are in the abyss. We are prisoners, and the whole point is to get out of the abyss. So we are prisoners kept by the Drow, and the first, I think it was the first day we played. I think it was the first day of the campaign. Where it was like 4 hours. We got through, or were able to escape. It might have been the second day, but I want to say it was it was like we were 4 hours in, and then we finally got through, and it was like, okay, and this is where we're going to end because we've been playing for 4 hours. So we've escaped. Our characters have taken a bunch of the NPCs from the prison cell with us. And we've ran into a bunch of little scary things. Well, I shouldn't say little scary things. We ran across some really stupid, scary things. We're not very far. It's a very interesting campaign. There's not... Honestly, if we were to play it out probably like it should be, there'd be a lot of downtime. And it does feel like we have a lot of downtime in it, where, again, with me, I want it to progress. I want us to be doing more stuff. And it's just, I don't know. I think it might be, I think there's two big things contributing to where I am. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying the aspect of being there, participating and doing things. I'm having fun. But I think for me, it's not a story that's really grasping me. It's more of a story where I want to do something different. So I think that's kind of the tough spot that I am in. Maybe I would roleplay a little bit more, and maybe it's a little bit my character. I haven't really found the grasp of my character. I know my character's backstory, but I'm also... Some of the group members are like, hey, I don't really know a whole lot about Leanth, which is my character's name. But I'm also, with my character, trying not to reveal too much, because if my character lives to a certain point, there's going to be a payoff. The plan is there's going to be a payoff to my character, which has been discussed with the DM. So we kind of know where we're going, but I'm also not safe by any means. So at any point in time, my character can get killed off. So I think it's just really kind of finding that, that balance and trying to figure out where I want to role play at. And how I want to roleplay it. And I think the other thing is, I'm speaking for trying to be a female character. I've got a pretty deep voice, the way it is. Throw an accent on it, and then trying to raise it a little bit, it sounds weird. So I think that a lot of times kind of brings people's like, oh my god, that's weird, don't do that. But I don't know. We'll see. I think we're 6 sessions in. We started, like I said, we started at the beginning of the year, back in February, just before COVID started. I think we had 1 or 2 sessions under our belt, and then we went on a long break. So the hope is that all this gets, hopefully I'll start getting more into it, and hopefully if the story starts picking up, maybe I'll get more comfortable. I think it's just a bunch of different factors, but I am curious for anyone watching this, if you're playing D&D or if you played, kind of like your experiences. Am I alone where I'm just not finding the story interesting, so I'm kind of not playing it? Or have you experienced the same thing where it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm not really fond of the story. It's not really my cup of tea, but I'm here and I'm going to keep going. Or, struggles with playing that character. I'm just really curious, of other people's experiences with the role-playing aspect of things. Or if you're in there with people who are strong role players, does that kind of discourage you a little bit from really role-playing or, wanting the action to move along? I'd really love to hear your thoughts on it. I've been playing now for a little over a year, playing D&D, and it's still we're doing normally an every other week kind of thing, but things change and, pandemics happen. So I'm just really, I don't know. I think we went so long, I kind of got disconnected too, right when I was starting to kind of feel the character. So maybe that's part of it. I'm kind of pulled back out of it, and I don't know, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. So if you want to comment below, I'd love to hear from you. What's some of your experiences with getting over that role playing hump when you're playing D&D or any other RPG tabletop game with your friends or with your group? I'd love to hear from you. As always, I want to thank you for watching. Uh, Thank you for subscribing if you're subscribed. I know a couple of you found me over on Instagram at Corey D. Harris. I want to thank you for that. I try to stay engaged. But if you like this video, it's all appreciated. Any subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the comments below if you want to comment, or we'll catch you in the next video. But see you next time.